Hi, this is Mike Fry, Executive Director at Animal Ark No-Kill Animal Shelter and host of Animal Wise Radio. What does the movie The Matrix have to do with the holidays? And what do either have to do with global warming? Well, follow along with me and I will explain. But I can't promise it to be an easy journey. This rabbit hole is deep and full of bumps and unexpected turns.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us.
I started thinking about the movie The Matrix when I was out walking my dogs the weekend after Thanksgiving and noticed some very strange things going on in my neighborhood. People were out in their yards enjoying temperatures approaching 60 degrees Fahrenheit. New plants were beginning to bud after a string of unseasonably warm weather here in Minnesota. Some plants, like the roses in my backyard, had not even bothered to drop their leaves yet this year. This was late November in Minnesota, and I saw more than a couple of people out mowing their lawns. Birds that would normally have migrated earlier in the year were still out in force as I strolled along the South Minneapolis streets. Of course, if this had been September in Minnesota, or if it had been late November somewhere much further south than here, none of this would have been strange at all. Making the weather still stranger was the fact that no one seemed to be bothered by it. Probably because this unusually warm fall was preceded by a series of several other unusually warm falls. Had this type of weather hit Minnesota a dozen or so years ago, it would have been all anybody could talk about. It would have been front page news in all the papers. But not so this year. People were just going about their business as though everything was normal. But what's normal about people mowing their lawns in Minnesota in yards that are decorated for the holidays?
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
In the movie The Matrix, machines had taken over the world by creating an artificial reality in which people lived, thereby allowing the machines to harvest the energy the human bodies generated. People had become nothing more than batteries for their machine masters, who kept the humans trapped in this dreamlike matrix. The neighborhood I walked was not unlike that matrix. It was filled with people distracted by an artificial realm that was devoid of subjects like global warming, oxygen-starved dead zones in the world's oceans, or mass extinction of species were not on the collective consciousness. Instead, people were worried about other issues, whether the inflatable pop-up Santa should be next to the plastic Christmas tree or closer to the hydrangea bush that, strangely enough, still has leaves on it. Mention the weather to anyone, and I always got the same response that went something like, "Isn't the weather beautiful?" No one seemed to understand that this strange weather could be a harbinger of frightening things to come, or that, ironically, the very holiday decorations they're now enjoying are at least partly responsible for global warming. Before you go off thinking I'm a total Scrooge, let me say that I love Christmas. I love quiet, snow-filled nights. I love feeling filled with hope for humanity. But there is a side of this season that I absolutely hate. I despise pop-up inflatable Santas. All the endless commercials for the newest, best, biggest product that everybody absolutely must have and that will be filling our landfills by February make me sick. And I hate that our economic health is measured by our spending on holiday throwaway trinkets. This has become a time of year when our normal, out-of-control consumption is escalated to mind-numbing heights. I hate that we have become the Matrix, lulled into feeding a corporate machine through mindless consumption.
More, I'm still not satisfied.
All the while, we are blissfully unaware that all of the holiday items we consume, the blow-up Santas, the plastic throwaway gifts, the chocolate truffles, all the latest, newest, biggest gadgets, and the trinkets and decorations, they all come from the earth and all require energy to produce and to warehouse and to distribute and sell and use and ultimately to throw away. And all therefore contribute to the growing problems of global warming, habitat destruction, and the extinction of species. I hate that we are trapped in a matrix that derives its economic energy from our consumption of the earth.
Why, oh why didn't I take the blue pill?
Hey, I warned you up front that this could be a bumpy ride. But if you've made it this far, I do have some good news for you. It is possible to unplug yourself from the Matrix. It's not easy, but it can be done. A few years ago, my family swore off purchasing holiday gifts. When we took our focus off the material aspects of the holidays, we found time to value the more important things the holidays bring. You won't find a plastic tree in our yard, no glow-in-the-dark reindeer either, but don't let that lead you to the conclusion that our house is not filled with the holiday spirit. And on that note, I would just like to say that whether you celebrate Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, Festivus, the winter solstice, or no holiday at all, I wish you a wonderful season. And also, I hope that Minnesota will see snow by Christmas. Animal Wise Radio is proud to be part of Animal Radio Network.